Sriram sir.
Hello, sir. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I am fine. Hope the same with you also.
Yes,
At your end.
quite exciting today to be here,
Okay.
and happy to have a nice evening around us.
Yeah, sure. Yes. It's cloudy and the monsoon season started.
Yes,
And I also saw that you posted a video on monsoon
yes,
with a nice message to save rainwater.
yes,
It's a very important message and a timely message, I think, because rainwater definitely, fresh water has become very precious resource nowadays,
hmm.
and there is a dire need to save rainwater or harvest it and store it.
That was the main idea behind that, actually.
Yeah, I think the message, the visuals are good, and I think the message is driven home. More than enjoying monsoon is one thing, the weather of monsoon, and also saving the rainwater is also another part of that.
Yes, the idea behind that was to educate the masses on the importance of saving rainwater in general.
From an
And,
Aam Aadmi perspective.
From an Aam Aadmi perspective.
Okay.
So yes, because many people wouldn't really think about going that far and thinking about how to really make use of the rainwater. So that was the idea behind it, so that from a common man's perspective, what is the need, what is the importance to save rainwater, and these 3 months are quite an important period in our lives. So, and I have seen that it has got good response, and I would like to thank all my friends who have given their precious time to see the video and try to gain some benefit out of that.
Okay. And you were mentioning something about thanking the audience or the respondents of Aam Aadmi Conversation 5 as well.
Yes, of course. That from the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank each and every person, each and every friend of ours who have given their precious time to take a look at that video. And I am very happy to see the responses which we have got so far, and it's doing quite well. And yes, the main intention behind that was trying to analyze life from a common man's perspective and try to share, putting themselves in our shoes, how it would be, how life turns out. So that was the main intention behind that. And I was happy to see certain responses also, and I was happy to receive certain suggestions. And one of those suggestions were, why not both of us, like the interviewer and the interviewee, appear together? For that, I would like to tell my friends that presently we have a technical and logistical limitation for that. But yes, we are definitely working towards that, and sooner we will be coming out with a solution for that, where you could view both of us talking to each other.
Okay, that's nice. I too have actually got some good feedbacks on AAC 5, conversation number 5. There are a few interesting questions. Probably we'll take it up the next sitting.
Yes, sure.
Today's sitting, we just wanted to focus on the blog that you had actually published today
Today, yes.
on the topic of International Yoga Day.
Oh,
Which
excellent.
is a very significantly important topic in these days especially, and in general for upkeep of health. So I have gone through that blog.
That's
There are
very
some
nice.
questions.
Hmm.
In a Q&A section format, we can take it up.
Sure.
Just to give more enhanced, some more detailed information to our your followers.
Yeah, absolutely.
General public. So, from an Aam Aadmi perspective, again, this will also be an Aam Aadmi conversation,
Yes, absolutely.
but
No
on the
problem.
topic of International Yoga Day.
Yes, and I'm happy that we are taking up this topic today, as International Yoga Day is just round the corner.
Yes,
And
on
I'm
21st
really,
coming Sunday it is.
It is.
It coincides with the solar eclipse.
I heard there is a solar eclipse.
Yeah, there's a
also
solar
that-
eclipse between around 10:12 a.m. to 1:45 p.m. in India. It's going to be there
Hmm.
on Sunday.
Hmm.
The solar eclipse on a Sunday is supposed to be a very significant and auspicious happening. So that's another topic. But it being an International Yoga Day, and you having published a blog on that in your WordPress site, so we'll just take up some questions and probably try to find some answers for them.
Absolutely. Looking forward.
So I'll read the questions out,
Yes.
and then you can probably respond.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
first question goes like this. Is coffee a complementary intake with regards to Yogasana system? And how about tea? How important is dietary habit with regard to Yogasana practice? How about smoking and alcohol intake? So this is the first question.
Quite an interesting question to begin with. Yoga as such, let me begin with that. Yoga as such, the importance of yoga, many of us wouldn't have really dwelled deep into the importance and the significance of yoga as such. Today we are living in a stressful world, and any corner we look at, whether it is a professional setup or whether it's a personal setup or whatever it is, we come across n number of stressful circumstances and stressful moments. And most of us would be looking forward to a solution as to how we deal with this. I would say, yes, and actually every one of us would have heard as well that there are many ways to deal with stress. Like probably the best and easiest way is try to relax and try to spend some time, try to deviate and all those things. Yes, that is all okay. But how about relaxing the mind and body? That is the main theme behind the real relaxation what a person would like to have. As I said, there are many ways. You can go and watch a TV, or you can go and play a game, outdoor game or indoor game or anything like that. But the real relaxation which a mind needs is some peaceful time away from the routines which we normally are engulfed with. In that context, yoga is an excellent and efficient way, I would say, to really move ourselves away from the routines of life and try to have some time for ourselves. Coming to your question of the role a beverage would play or things like that, when we need to have some time for ourselves, we would always look into it in this way, that we need to be prepared to have a good time for ourselves as well. In which way we would also it's not only the matter of keeping our mind intact, it is also about how we physically keep ourselves ready to have a good and relaxed time. In which way I would say alcohol or any beverage which might excite the mind beyond a certain limit is not advisable to practice any sort of a activity which you are looking at to give peace to your mind. Because any sort of a beverage which might really excite your mind or something like that, then you are actually defeating the purpose of having a relaxed mind after a hectic routine. So what I would say is, whenever you are practicing an activity, say like a yoga which you are doing to relax your mind, it would be good if you are fresh from the mind itself, and for which I would more suggest having a having a glass of water or something like that, which will keep you more further relaxed, rather than having some sort of a drink which might excite your mind and which might lead to some complications which might not allow you to relax the way you are looking forward to.
So in summary, you're against consumption of alcohol and caffeinated drinks, especially if someone is basically taken up the yogasana system seriously. Otherwise, you are saying it will negate the benefits.
I would say so. Yes, I would say so, because alcohol is a different ball game altogether. I mean, the reasons why people have alcohol, many of us would say that yes, that is also a way to relax after a hectic day. But when we are actually trying to practice something which we are trying to relax our mind and body together in general, then I would say there are better choices than either a alcohol or a coffee or a caffeinated drink, as you rightly said, to prepare ourselves to get relaxed.
Okay. So the next question is like this. So what are your views on the International Yoga Day and its significance? Like, for example, is it just a reminder, or is it a homage to our forefathers who practiced or promoted yoga? And do you think it should have been publicized much earlier than 2015? That's the question.
All right. Okay. As I said, as I described about yoga in my previous question, the International Yoga Day, as I would say, is a very, very genuine and a very, very good thought, wherein whatever we do or whatever we learn to practice something good towards our own benefit should not be limited only within ourselves, is what I feel. In that way, the International Yoga Day is an excellent opportunity for the world to unite and the world to really see the benefits of yoga. Yoga has innumerable number of benefits, and I myself feel practically unprepared to really talk about the vast benefits of yoga which we can gather. To the best of my understanding, I would say the International Yoga Day is an excellent gesture. It is an excellent opportunity for everyone to just come, be a part of the occasion, and not just be the part of the occasion. Try to inculcate the good benefits what yogasanas have for us. From times immemorial, we have seen the benefits of yoga, and it is not today. It is an ancient activity which has been coming from many generations. So I am really happy that through the World Yoga Day, or the International Yoga Day as we call it as, this is the effects and I would say the benefits of yoga is actually transferred to the various parts of the world. As people would have definitely known what yoga is, but they wouldn't have known it in depth to start really practicing and start really trying to devote time for that. So I'm happy that this activity has gained a lot of footage across the world, and yes, as times go by, more and more people will get accustomed to it, and they will try to show more focus and interest, and it is actually towards their own benefit of maintaining good health, good mind, which will help them to perform better in their lives.
Okay. So better late than never is a message.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So next question goes like this. There is a popular perception that Yogasana system is strongly coupled with Hindutva and hence it is for Hindus. What do you have to say about this?
Let me begin this way. When we call the Yoga Day as an International Yoga Day, one should take it from that there is nothing like limiting it to one particular section of a religion or a caste or anything like that. I would say when we call yoga as a system to relax, and it is a system to relax for human beings in general. So whether he is a Hindu or a Muslim or any other caste for that matter, if you see the benefits of yoga as such, I don't think it should really be limited to any one section of the society. It is for the benefit of mankind in general, and everybody has a right to practice yoga. And once you really get down to the grassroots level and try to really learn what it has to offer, then I think most of the people, irrespective of wherever they are and whichever parts of the world they are, will definitely get more interested to go deeper and get more benefit out of that. So what I feel is, when we actually call it as an International Yoga Day, where people from all over the world so far have shown a lot of interest, I think it should continue that way, and I feel that many people should come forward and reap the rich rewards which yoga has to offer.
The next question is like this. Is there any relationship between Yogasana system and Ayurveda? If yes, what is the relationship?
Well, it's a very good question. My understanding of Yogasanas in general is it is such a pure and perfect activity which has over the years come from generations to generations, and today it is still an activity which is seen with great popularity and perseverance. When we talk about Ayurvedas, as I would like to say, Vedas is a different subject altogether, because that's an ocean by itself. So, really correlating Ayurveda and yoga to the extent of that, like justifying the correlation between both, is a mammoth topic. But the best way I would like to put it is, there have been benefits which has been derived through the Vedic systems of the past, and then it has been transformed into a physical activity like a yoga. But I would always say that when you look it as as an act of meditation and as an act of trying to relax from the routine life, I would say the effects of, say, like taking, let me put it this way, effects of taking an Ayurvedic medicine or something, or doing a yoga, if we just bifurcate them to two separate topics, the effect of relaxing and the effect of keeping our mind in good condition, I would say yoga has a lot to do with that. And when we meditate, when we actually forget the outside world out of us and just try to focus into our inner selves, I would say that there is not much of a difference as such, but it is an activity which has given the people what they actually look forward to. And yes, but Ayurveda and yoga do have their own plus points as far as people's benefits are concerned.
Okay. So next question goes like this: what are your thoughts on Baba Ramdev's system of Yogasana practice? How do you enumerate his contributions to the Yogasana system?
Well, yes, I am indeed grateful to Baba Ramdev for bringing Yogasana and its benefits to such a level that today they are being most talked about, not only in our country but the rest of the world as well. And what I am really impressed with him is the way he performs the most difficult of the asanas with immaculate ease. And he is a master of the subject, and where if we have seen many performances of him, I am really astonished as to how perfectly he does that. And yes, that is years and years of practice which I would say it has brought him to that level of perfection. But I am indeed very happy, and I am also happy with the fact that he is sharing it more and more with the people, so that everybody can get the benefits of that. So I would value him in very high esteem as far as yoga and teachings of yoga and all is concerned. So I am really grateful to him for whatever all he has done and he continues to do.
What are your thoughts on the importance of Yogasana in the lives of the Maratha kings, especially Chhatrapati Maharaj and the Wadiyars of the Royal Mysore? What were their contributions in promoting and sustaining physical fitness through the practice of Yogasana system?
Kings. Well, I come from a place where Shivaji Maharaj's name is taken in great fervor and fanism, I would say. I would say that understanding any king or any ruler should not be limited only from the fact that he was ruling the kingdom. Because any common man for that matter would just, if you ask him how do you define a king, or if you ask him how do you define a ruler, he would just say that he would be ruling a kingdom and he would be living in a big palace and all those things, and he would be fighting battles after battles to see that his subjects were safe, I would say. But it's not just limited to that. They too had to mentally prepare for very big and huge battles which they have fought in their erstwhile career. So I would really say that yoga has played a big part since those days, where it has been of a high degree of value and help to even rulers to maintain their calm and composure during very tough times. And fighting a battle is never easy. So whether it is in the field, or whether it is an internal battle you are fighting, or whether it's an external battle you are fighting, so you need to be in that mental frame of mind where you prepare yourself. So from the erstwhile king's rule, I would say, that yoga definitely would have contributed its bit to keep them calm during troubled situations. And as I have been from Maharashtra and as I have heard the history of Shivaji Maharaj, I have also heard that he has been a great practicer of yoga himself, because in one way or the other, before he would go to any battle or anything, apart from praying to his family deity, he would also spend some time within himself so that he could prepare himself for the long battle ahead. And that is where yoga comes again. In any way, it could be meditation or it could be through performing yogasanas. It really helps you to calm yourself down and keep you composed and be ready for any sorts of challenges you have to face ahead.
So any thoughts on the Wadiyar, sir? That was also part of the question, Mysore Wadiyars.
Yes. How can I forget them? Mysore Wadiyars, I have been a big fan of them. And as and when I get an opportunity to speak about Mysore Wadiyars, I feel that I am really not I am really not such a big man to speak about such a great dynasty. Yes, whenever I have visited the Royal Palace of Mysore, I have also come across various paintings and pictures which have shown the Wadiyar dynasty and kings from the erstwhile generation of the Wadiyars visiting places, trying to spend some time within themselves. It is a pictorial representation of how they would prepare themselves. And yes, as far as Mysore Wadiyars are also concerned, I have also heard that they would give, in addition to giving times to their subjects, they would spend a lot of time to prepare themselves for various troubles and various activities, I would say, to rule their subjects, whichever challenges they would have faced. And I have also heard that they would spend a phenomenal amount of time within themselves, with themselves as such, so that they could get prepared for better, to face the world better, I would say. And yes, I would also attach the importance of yoga to really develop the mind of great rulers like them, who come down as an example for people like us to follow in our lives.
So the final question is a pretty interesting question.
Yes.
What are some of the challenges faced by Aam Aadmi in the present times when it comes to adopting the practice of Yogasana system for maintaining a balanced health? Aam Aadmi's challenges.
Aam Aadmi's challenges. Yes. Yes. As we have this conversation from an Aam Aadmi's perspective, as an Aam Aadmi, I would say, whether we really understand yoga to the depth which we would otherwise want to understand, I would always say that we would do ourselves very good if we can give few minutes of our daily routine life and try to get down to our own selves.
Yeah, but that is a sort of a suggestion what you're trying to give. Question was asking about the challenges that are being faced. Can you list out the challenges and describe some of them? Aam Aadmi, what is facing?
Yes.
And why those challenges are being faced?
Yes.
Some of them could be self-inflicted or man-made. Some could be beyond his control.
Yes.
So a few examples of challenges faced by an Aam Aadmi in his wish to adopt to the system. Like one example is when we spoke about the perception that it is a Hindutva thing, which will stop a non-Hindu to adopt it so easily. Mental blocks could be there. So those kind of Aam Aadmi challenges, anything else also, like it could be lack of space or lack of time, whatever it is, a pursuit of material success or whatever it is. Can you just elaborate on those challenges as an Aam Aadmi?
Yes, as you rightly said, that's a very good thought process which you have given. I mean, to perform an act like yoga, as I said earlier also, you need to be prepared well. You need to be prepared in such a way that you don't have any deviation. And today's constraints from an Aam Aadmi point of view is the amount of time required to prepare himself. For example, today, even for a man or a person who is actually into any sort of professional activity, he is so engrossed in his activity that he doesn't find time for himself. If he finds time, he doesn't have the space, or if he has space, he doesn't have the time. So what I would say is the challenges are innumerable. For example, that as you said, even if we get to the Hindutva perspective, or even if we get to
What are the challenges that you might have faced? For example, you could quote from your own personal experience, couple of them.
yes, I have been a big fan of yoga, so I'm deeply honored, and I'm very happy to say that I do practice yoga in my daily routine as well. The most toughest challenge, I wouldn't say, but the biggest challenge, I would say, which I would have faced, is the lack of time due to my professional setup, erstwhile, of course, when I would work from 9 to 5, and the work would go beyond working hours. And even though if I would have liked to come and devote myself, I would find the lack of time not to really come here and try to put myself and try to gain more attention towards yoga and all. So that is one of the main challenges which I have
So,
faced.
speaking of time constraint,
Yes.
so what according to you is an ideal duration on a daily basis to be kept aside for this kind of activity?
I would say any time between...
No, it's not the time of day, duration. Like
Duration,
30 minutes,
okay.
15 minutes.
Okay, I would say even if you concentrate for 5 minutes, that is also fine.
Okay.
But though 5 minutes you wouldn't be able to achieve anything, I would say that whatever time you devote towards yoga should be diligently given. It is not that you just come here, sit in an open place, and you just sit and meditate for some time and do away with it. You have to...
I have some differences of opinion there because you have been mixing meditation and yogasana, right? So I see it as a different thing. See, meditation is in a mental plane. It needs some physical discipline to go to that level. But International Yoga Day and all these yoga gurus today, they are trying to focus on the first three of the Ashtanga yoga steps, Yama, Niyama and Asana. They are not talking about meditation, Dharana, Dhyana, and that is where meditation comes. It's the highest, last three stages. Majority of the yogasana principles or systems that are currently being promoted by anybody is in the elementary, like beginning, LKG, UKG, first standard stage. Yama, Niyama, Pranayama, Asana. Those are the first three of the 8. So, we are only talking about those that, let's not actually, the meditation point is not being, that is very complex and it's a thing by itself. We cannot really do justice to it in a short discourse like this or discussion like this, right? So, I assume that you are responding to this question about Aam Aadmi's challenges in adopting the yogasana system. It is limited to the scope of Yam, Niyam and Asana, that's all. That is having a routine, having a dietary habit, and having the knowledge about how to move your body and keep it flexible and rigid.
Yes.
Isn't it? That's what I assume.
That is the perspective of what I'm trying to say. I mean, getting yourself prepared through a dietary habit as well, it has its own significance in trying to learn.
Three things.
Yes.
Yam, Niyama. See, basically it is not only the control on dietary habit, it is also about having a routine. And asana means it is about the postures, which basically you take your body through to maintain a certain balance at the physiological level. Before you go into the psychological level, you have to gain control over the physiological level. That is where these first three steps come. And that is what everybody is talking about, and that is the scope of International Yoga Day also, I assume.
It actually focuses on these three. But again, when we talk about, from a common man's perspective and his understanding on these perspectives, I really don't see a common man really trying to get into that depth and trying to really find out what it could in depth offer to a man. But if you say me as a common man, for example, I would like to go out
as a common man. Just to fine tune my question, earlier question. As an Aam Aadmi, what is your thoughts on the minimum amount of time that has to be kept aside in a day to practice the physiological level activities, Yam, Niyam and Asana?
I would say at least even if you devote about half an hour from your regular routine times, at least you can try to gain some sort of a I wouldn't say 100% control. At least you can begin your journey to try to gain control over these three activities, which run into giving you the all important knowledge, and not only knowledge. I mean, again, further going through that. Once when we try to get the beginning, then of course we can always take it forward, and we can give more and more time, and we can try to see that we develop more and more towards gaining more footage on this. And I would definitely say that it is within ourselves to really prepare ourselves mentally to meet the challenges ahead. Anybody and everybody can just give us directions, but finally how we react to it and how we put it to use in our day-to-day life is totally our own perspective and our own responsibility. So I would say that practicing yoga to these depths, as you very rightly put, is going to help us itself in moving forward and meet the world which is full of challenges. And I would not say 1 or 2 or 3 challenges, it's going to be hundreds of challenges which we are going to face ahead. So yes, this is going to be a very important ingredient for us moving forward, and I would really suggest people to get into the act of practicing yogasana for a better life and better mind.
Okay, so any parting thoughts for your Aam Aadmi brothers and sisters, sir?
Words are short for me, for having accepted me as an Aam Aadmi first and giving your valuable time to hear what I have to convey, and more importantly, trying to share your views and thoughts, because no one's perfect. I would say that I have conveyed my mind, but at the same time there is every room for improvement, and I am really thankful to all our friends who have given their time and devoted their time, come back with suggestions for improvement. And yes, when we have very good people around with good thoughts around, and I think we are on the path of success. And I would say that please continue to watch our channel, please continue to share your thoughts and support us as we come out with many more thought-provoking subjects ahead.
It was nice speaking to you, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Have a nice evening.
Thank you, same to you.